Hello everyone. Me and Hayden just wanted to make a quick instructional video regarding the new Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, which is a new function on your CCU Blackboard, and it is a virtual online classroom environment. So when you're away from block release, we can get you and your cohort and your class into this online classroom, and we can talk through anything we want. So it will be mostly used for your degree modular assessments for those of you who are on the degree, but we also may use it for PQP tuition, etc. So how we access the Collaborate on your Blackboard, you firstly need to go into the course that the tutorship is happening, the class is happening. So on the right hand side of your Blackboard, you'll see hopefully a lot less sort of courses than this, simply because you'll only be on one at a time. So if you find the module that you're having a session, so we're using Hayden's Foundations for Learning Blackboard as the example. So once we are into Foundations for Learning, you'll see it displayed on the top here. And if you scroll down on the left-hand side, you'll see the little sign here that says Blackboard Collaborate Ultra Virtual Classroom. And if you click on that link, it'll take us to the Collaborate. So a little note on this section. At the moment, there's only one room set up. Hayden has set up a demonstration room for us to go through this process. When we are running sessions, we will probably run multiple sessions of the same class or the same tutorship, simply because you all may not be able to have the time free to enter that classroom. We'll run the same session twice. So when you do come online to enter one of these sessions, please make sure you select the correct time and room name. So this one started a couple of days back, or today, sorry, and it hasn't ended yet. But there may be multiple sessions. If you enter the wrong room, you'll be in there on your own, and there won't be the rest of the colleagues there for the class. A little note on today as well, in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, the video that's here is obviously just this recording of Collaborate. This video in the bottom right hand corner won't be there in the actual session itself. Okay, so if we click on Destination Room, this loading part, takes a varying amount of time. On my laptop, it's relatively quick, but I think we've tried it on an iPad and it took a little bit longer. So don't be afraid if it takes a minute or two to load. That's quite normal. So now we'll see Hayden. There he is. We've entered, and if this to actually show these symbols along the bottom here, the first one is to share audio, to turn our microphone on. So Hayden sent us a little message, so we'll reply to that in a second. And the second, but we're not going to turn my microphone on today through Collaborate because we'll get a lot of feedback. The second option is the video. So if we click that, it'll allow us to share our video. We can click share video, and then Hayden will see, there we go, a video of myself built into Collaborate itself, which is separate to our recording today. Across the bottom, we also have this raise hand. So if I click that, during a session, if I raise my hand, the moderator, which is Hayden, so if I hold my cursor over the screen, we can see that Hayden is our lecturer or our moderator. So he'll allow us to ask a question. Because Hayden can allow us to turn our mics on and off, or our video on and off as well. So we can cut out video, for example. If you're going to ask a question, oh, he's having a few connection problems. Hopefully, there we go, he's coming back online. If you realize someone else has answered your question, you can drop the hand that way. So along the right-hand side, by hitting this purple directional button here, opens up these options. So this is the message Hayden sent at the beginning, and that's this speech bubble. So if I wanted to reply, incorrectly spelled, and then he'll see that as well and react accordingly. There we go. So the other options along the participants part here shows you everyone in the room. So if you didn't want to send a message to the entire cohort, by clicking on this function, you're welcome. Next to their name, if you scroll across, it shows them shows their connectivity, but it also shows them participant controls, and you can select to send a message to that user that doesn't get shown to the entire cohort. And then we'll close that down. Ignore this button. This is to share content, which such as files and PowerPoints, which is something only the lecturers or moderators can do. And you've seen that little one there in the corner. Hopefully that showed you had an unread message. One other function, if we actually hover our cursor over our little profile symbol at the bottom there and open that up, you've got some other options. But also, if you go over the little green sort of tick on the bottom of your profile symbol, it allows you to sort of put a few options. If you want to agree or disagree with what someone is saying, you can say, I don't know what surprised is for, but you can ask the moderator to go faster or slower, etc., etc. Okay, and sad if you really don't like the lesson. And then we just, let's say we're happy. And then our face turns to happy and Hayden can say we're happy. Okay, so I'm going to pass you over to Hayden. And his voice will actually come out of my laptop, so you should be able to hear it. So if we send him a little message. Off you go. There we go.
Thanks for that, Simon. Can you hear me at your end?
Yes, perfect.
Brilliant. So Simon's already gone through the basics of what we can do as a participant in these virtual learning classrooms. And from our side of the technology, from where we're able to present things to you, obviously we have the chat function at the side. We can enable and disable webcams as we need, but we can use this for online lessons quite effectively as well. So a few of the options we have are the ability to go through polls and just gather understanding as we're talking about things. So if I was to ask, could a dispensing optician modify an existing prescription to change a patient's working distance? Then what will happen in a moment is a question should pop up on the screen.
And we will say yes as long
as... And from my end of the world, I can see the number of people that have responded. I can see what they have ticked. And then once everything is all in, I can show the responses out. So we can have a nice little chat about certain issues. We can have a rough gauge of how we feel about things without it being too obvious who said what. So you can answer things in relative anonymity. Whilst we're doing lectures and the like, what we can do in here is we can share files. Bear with me a moment whilst I get this to set up and work. Gotta love it when technology doesn't want to play, which is, pretty much the standard for technology. Like we said, standard for technology. We'll come back to that one in a minute. We can set up whiteboards for everyone to interact with. Now, at the moment, the settings are set up so that participants can't interact with these whiteboards, but if we could work some collaborative notes and collaborative documents together, and we can split you up into several different smaller groups. So if we're having a large discussion with several people in here, what we can do is we can break you up into smaller classes. You can have your discussions in separate mini rooms, in effect, and then we can bring everybody back in to bring everything together. Going back to the sharing files and the like, if we wanted to go through lectures and the like online here with you, we can put up slides, we can put up handouts, and we can talk through various different aspects of lectures on the room. So it gives us a lot of functionality that we can use at a distance with you to go over things like PQPs or essay writing or feedback from essays and the like. We can do these with one-to-one tutorials, or we can do them with big group sessions, really, if needs be, so we can get entire classes in here. I think that is pretty much most of the main function there. Simon, is there anything that I have missed that you can think of that we can pop in the chat? I can't hear Simon currently because his microphone is recording to his screencast.
Perfect. That's great. Okay. So if I just turn Hayden down so we can't get some feedback through there, if I turn it on. So perfect. So that's Collaborate. That's a very quick introduction. All we need you to be able to do really is get into the room and sort of let us know if you're having any problems through the chat and see who else is in the room, who else of your colleagues are in the room. Other than that, it's quite sort of easily used and is indicative of what we'd want you to do. Okay, good luck with your Collaborate session. Get in touch if you have any trouble.